Hi, this is Neil Son Dynasty. Wait, hold on, that's Gandalf. That's Dixie. I'm Neil Hans Dynasty. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. Buy yourself some silver and some platinum. And for all you people who love the things the way they're going and think Ukraine's such a great place to live, yeah, their own people are fixing to throw Zelensky out of office because he's so corrupt. Here's the report.
In 2019, Volodymyr Zelensky, a comedian and actor with no prior political experience, captured the hearts of his fellow Ukrainians who saw him as a refreshing change from the country's traditional political establishment. His outsider status and unconventional approach resonated with the people, and he campaigned on a platform of transparency and accountability, promising to tackle corruption and improve the economy. Once in office, Zelensky made good on his promises, launching sweeping reforms and taking on entrenched interests. He proved himself to be a tireless worker, often portraying himself as a president working late into the night and responding to citizens' concerns on social media. Zelensky's presidency was a reminder that genuine political change is possible, even in countries with a long history of corruption and dysfunction. He was respected and admired for his efforts to bring about positive change in Ukrainian politics. After Ukraine's tumultuous and devastating struggle with war, the world came to acknowledge the immense contribution of the country's leader to the war effort. His strong leadership and unwavering determination were widely applauded, earning him widespread acclaim. However, in just 1 year, the Ukrainian leader's once glowing charm has been washed away. Even his valiant battle against Russia fails to justify NATO's false praises for Zelensky's efforts. The Ukrainian landscape is now barren and desolate, and its people are living like refugees in Europe. The once beloved leader has become a tyrant, a figure of authoritarian power whose actions have provoked discontent and anger among his people. These are not mere opinions, but the sentiments of the many Ukrainians who are now planning a massive protest against Volodymyr Zelensky. According to a media report by Politico, Ukraine could soon be facing another Euromaidan protest, this time against President Volodymyr Zelensky. There is a rising tide of discontent against Zelensky's government in Ukraine, and reports of brewing unrest in Kiev suggest a looming sense of impending protest. One Ukrainian, a 38-year-old mother of one, expressed her concerns about the potential for another Maidan to emerge as she sat in a cafe overlooking Kiev's Independence Square, where the protests of nearly a decade ago toppled the despotic Yanukovych, a puppet of Putin. Her partner is currently serving as a combat doctor in Bakhmut. These concerns were shared by a former Ukrainian cabinet minister who spoke candidly about the likelihood of another revolution. Though he chose not to be named, like many other lawmakers, reformers, and civil society leaders, he expressed his worries about the rapid onset of change driven by the people's impatience for progress. This war has triggered great hopes, and people will be very impatient for change, he said. They will want money, justice, and the completion of the reforms they demanded back in 2014, and they will want them quickly. Navigating these post war waters would prove arduous for any leader, but for President Zelensky, it would be especially challenging. His autocratic tendencies have alienated him from the people, rendering him part of the problem. While Zelensky had once enjoyed a towering approval rating of 84%, second only to that of the army, his popularity plummeted shortly after his election in 2019, when he was hailed as the president of the people, championing their interests against the ruling elite and the wealthy. Seasoned observers had always stressed that his adulation may merely be a passing fad, a fleeting sentiment that would dissipate as soon as the existential threat recedes. Unfortunately, his popularity plummeted shortly after his election in 2019, when he was hailed as the president of the people, championing their interests against the ruling elite and the wealthy. Alas, the reality of governance has proven to be far more challenging than the world of entertainment. His efforts to shake up the establishment, dismiss a reform minded prime minister, and appoint his friends and former business partners to his government drew swift criticism from his erstwhile supporters. Moreover, his anti corruption drive, once a cornerstone of his platform, made little headway, leading to accusations of ineffectiveness and frustration. As the war broke out, Zelensky sought to rally his people by issuing presidential decrees and wielding his executive powers. But he was accused of flouting laws, and his opponents saw his actions as increasingly autocratic, motivated by a desire to disrupt his political rivals rather than combating Russian aggression.
That's a terribly long report. I don't like terribly long reports. The basic bottom line is the Ukrainian people are fixing to kick him out of office because he's a corrupt piece of crap. He should have stayed in acting as a comedian because he's a crappy politician. But, it didn't take long for him to get bought and paid for. Doesn't take long. You guys have a nice night.